YouTube was now what it is your boy there back with another one. In this video we got Virgil Ortiz team does not want Boots Ennis. They want a washed up Errol Spence or a washed up Keith Thurman. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Okay. If you don't watch boxing, then you missed out on Virgil Ortiz's last fight against I believe Sergey Verichik, however you say his name. And I believe that he dropped Virgil Ortiz twice in that fight. Um, that fight was very close. Many people believe that Ortiz robbed him because he got dropped twice and they boxed each other very closely. But they believe that Virgil got the nod because he's the name and he's the money fight, and people expect him to win. So um, what I also do think is these dudes don't want to see Boots Ennis because his manager just said it. He said they not interested in it. Him versus Ennis is the biggest fight in that little weight class. Boots versus Ennis is the new Tank versus Ryan for welterweight and super welterweight. That's what this fight is like. Whenever the biggest Mexican or Hispanic or Latino fighter fights the biggest Black American fighter, that's when a legend gets made. That's when you start going down a legendary trajectory. When Floyd Mayweather fought Maidana, Pacquiao, Corrales, all these different Hispanics and Latinos, his name got out there because he was beating all the biggest and Canelo. He was beating all the biggest and brightest. you know. But they say they don't want Boots. They say they rather fight two washed up fighters in Spencer Thurman. And I don't respect Spencer, but Spencer is not the old Spence. When Spence was in his prime, Virgil was a prospect. When Thurman was in his prime, Virgil was a prospect. Now Virgil is in his prime and wants to fight these guys when they over the wall. They're not what they used to be. They're essentially a little bit washed. And I got more respect for Errol Spence than Keith Thurman. It is what it is. Errol Spence fought everybody except Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman fought all the gatekeepers. Keith Thurman fought Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. He fought all the gatekeepers, but he never fought any of the two big dogs. It was supposed to be a three-headed monster in that division, even though it was a lot of guys. But it was supposed to be Bud, Errol, and Keith, a three-headed monster at welterweight. But Keith never fought anybody, so we don't give him that type of respect. Um, and yeah, his trainer wants Errol Spencer, Keith Thurman. Again, that's bullshit. He says it's gonna be the biggest fight in Texas. Nobody cares about that fight. Um, yeah, man. They said they believe that Ennis is too much for him, and it's a huge step. Even though Virgil's the bigger guy. Like, if you want to test yourself and you want to prove how good you are, then you fight Boots. But again, I mean, don't tell me Ortiz is another one of these, Hispanic hype jobs that don't want to challenge themselves against Black American fighters who gonna build a career of beating up washed up fighters or European fighters. Canelo. Like, it's crazy, bro. These dudes ain't fought nobody, but they getting all the praise in the world. I mean, I'm gonna call that like how I see it. Virgil ain't fought anybody. He fought. In fact, some people think he lost that fight. I think he lost his last fight. Um, if he don't fight Boots, I don't want to hear it. If he not fighting Boots, I don't want to hear it. I give the same smooth to anybody. I got mad when Boots didn't fight Brian Norman because they didn't want to pay him, and then they gave Karen all the money. That pissed me off as well. I get mad when I see bullshit in boxing, and I call it out. I think Boots should be fighting Brian Norman in unification fights, and I think Virgil should be trying to fight Boots, a fight, and try to get a belt and fight in a unification as well. So I mean, I think it's bullshit if he's not doing it, and I think he's just cherry picking and trying to build a career of like a well-oiled machine. And we saw how that goes. You can't protect yourself. This what happens if you're a protected father. Either one, people give you the Tank Davis treatment, and then they start disrespecting your resume and your career. Or two, you eventually step up in competition when you got a crazy record and people think you this big bad, this big bad guy, and you get beat up. That's usually what happens with protected fighters. Either people acknowledge they protected and don't respect them, or they get beat up and laughed at because they was fighting weak opposition. Like even Jared Anderson, people said he was being managed well, and he was being managed well, and his career was being taken care of, but he fought great competition in Bacoli. And in hindsight, I respect him for it because he wanted to step up in competition and see what he measured at. And he did it early in his career. He did it at 24, 25 early in his career. More than enough time to get better and to maybe even rematch Bacoli in the future and get his lick back. But Shit, you need to take fights like those to know where you stand. Who knows? Maybe you are what they say you are and you win. Maybe you are what they say you are, Virgil Ortiz. But we not gonna do it until you fight somebody. And if they keep protecting you, then we're not gonna be able to respect it. And we're gonna give you the tank treatment and say, yeah, you protected. You know, they picking and choosing who you gonna fight. You know, if Tank been fought Lomachenko, Devin Haney fought Lomachenko at 23. Why couldn't Tank? Why didn't Tank fight Shakur yet, or Devin yet, or come on, man, Teofimo? All these dudes should have been fought each other. It's bullshit. Boxing, they trying to protect these fighters and quote unquote build their career, not making them fight each other. So, hey, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this. Till next time.